talking about positioning of your microphone.
I was going to go with positioning.
Yeah, I know you were. I know exactly what you're going to do.
I think I'll say, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Laser Source podcast, the #1 podcast, if you like it right there. This is episode 190 of the Laser Source podcast. Is that crazy?
That's definitely more than 8.
Yeah, it's more than 8. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I would think so.
And
at least 3 times as much.
We're getting ready to close up season 4, which is wild. That'll be 4 years under our belt of this fucking show.
My belt's gotten so much bigger in those 4 years.
You know, mine got big, but it's starting to shrink a little. I weighed myself the other day, dude. 189. That's
Ooh.
right. Yeah, in the 180s now.
You cost less than a hamburger now.
That's right.
It's like a 2005 Wendy's like special bacon burger. That's where you're at right now.
Gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. Yes. So yeah, I just got all good news today. I'm in a good mood. I got lots of like good, fun, happy things happening to me. So I'll share all of that with you guys today, including the details so far that I've uncovered about the Eon Mira 5S, which is the new REDLINE laser that just showed up in the office. But before we get to that, we've got some good old-fashioned housekeeping to do. First of all, hi, Matt. Hi, Kyle.
Hey, boo-boo.
Oh, great. And also, hi, chat. What's up, chat? How you guys doing today?
That's what made me laugh a second ago. Resin just said, hi, it's Thursday.
It is. Yeah, I made an announcement that nobody read that said that we weren't doing it on Tuesday because it was Veterans Day, and I didn't think anybody was going to show up. Mostly Matt didn't think anybody was going to show up, and then I agreed. So we didn't do it on Tuesday, and instead I tagged everyone on the Discord and said, we're going Thursday instead. If you're not on the Discord, get on the Discord because you would have gotten that notification.
You would have known all about it.
I also scheduled this stream on Thursday or on Tuesday. So why haven't you smashed that notification bell so that you get notified when we're going live? Right?
You could also hit that like button ahead of time too.
You could. We love when people hit the like button ahead of time. So yeah, we're here on a Thursday this week. We'll be back to our normal time
on a Thursday
next week. But yeah, I wanted to say hi to chat. Matt, go ahead. Let's just get it out of your system early today.
I am so excited. Yeah, we got a whole bunch of people who actually showed up because I think 2 things happened that's weird. Number one, it's on a different night, so that's obviously weird. But then we started like at 9:04 or something like that, which is insane.
Yeah,
but anyways,
I mean, insanely early for us.
Yeah, they're like, I thought you'd start Friday morning sometime, if I'm being honest. So we got Cuban Cracked. What's up, buddy? For the first time in a while. He said that at 5:25 p.m. probably today or like maybe another day. I mean, who knows with him. Got Smoke Shows here. Engraved Dreams. What's up? Laser Blood Creations. If you don't know, she's amazing.
Bronson probably doesn't even come for the show. He probably just shows up like 6 hours early, says hi, and then pretends he's here. Yeah, first. Back to work.
Then we've got Gulf Coast Laser Engraving. What's going on, Richie?
What up, Richie?
Santa's Laser Engraving came back. Mike C. We've got a whole bunch of Laura talking with Cheryl. Hey, Cheryl. Over there at Resin Dragon Studios, in case you guys don't know who that is. Miranda's in chat. Willie Sims. What's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Haven't heard from you in a while.
My wife.
Yep, you got Miranda going. And that's pretty much everybody so far. Cool. So, by the way, I did move my microphone because Alex said I sounded like a troll, and now I don't. So if you guys let me know if it's better.
Say troll, it just sounded like you were shouting hot dogs down hallways.
Did not say troll, so I went ahead and just went
driveways even.
Yeah, driveways even.
I don't what
the
hot dogs down driveways.
You sound sexy. Smash the like button if you think Matt sounds sexy tonight.
That's gross.
What's the sexiest thing you could say into your microphone right now?
Hamburger.
Well, we just went from 3 to 7, so there you go.
Oh yeah, dude, stop! I can only get so hard.
I can get closer here with like hamburger.
Whoa! All right, that one gave me chills.
Everyone else is just like tuning out. It's all gone. Miranda just unlike.
That's fine. So be it.
All right. Well,
all right.
I tried my best.
Great show for you guys tonight, as always. And that show is existing because of our sponsor, Johnson Plastics Plus, which I just got off the horn with. Guess what Jackie's sending me?
You have a horn?
A bunch of glass ornaments from their stock. Yeah. I had to kind of beg for them. Jackie also got mad at me. She's like, "Why don't you use your Johnson Plastics Plus bucks for this?" And I was like, "My what?" So Rhiannon had to email her today. Was like, "What do we do to spend that?" And we had to like go. There's like this whole back and forth. She's like, "Just log in with your Johnson Plastics Plus account." And I was like, "Which one?" I have like 8. And we still don't know. I don't know. She sent us an account number, so I have to find out now from her which email address is associated with that account number. But apparently we get some like JP Plus bucks, which you normally get as reward
when you spend money. Yeah.
Spending money. Yeah. But we get some allocated to us because of the sponsorship. So I'd like to use some of that. So we need to figure that out. But neither here nor there. She did send me some of those glass ornaments that I've been talking about pretty much every single week for the last like 8 or so weeks. And I'm really excited to get them. She also sent all 3 shapes. So we got the square ones, the circle ones, and the hexagon ones. And you know that's going to be our Johnson Plastics Plus episode for the month when they come in. So I'm pretty stoked on that.
I really like them. They're my favorite.
Yeah, me too. I really like.
What's really nice about them is the packaging too. Like you can, I've used those to make for a company before, and the nice thing is they're basically ready to either gift wrap or like I think the company that I gave them to put a stamp on it that said like "Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays," whatever. And then like because it was like a nice clean white box, nice little padding inside.
It's got like the jewelry padding inside, right? Like
right.
Kind of
like
yeah. So those are nice. You could probably even, I bet you could UV those pretty good.
Oh, that's the only way I've done them. Yeah, and Resin said I have some of their glass ornaments. They engrave really nicely.
They really do. Yeah, they really do. So if you want to pick some up before they're out of stock for the year, guys, it is, what are we, on the 13th? Yeah, we're halfway through November. So buy some. There's a link down in the description that'll take you over there. We'll get credit for that sale because it's an affiliate link, so you help support the channel by shopping with them. And you can save up to 15% off almost everything in the store with discount code YLRZDF, which is our special code. Again, it makes sure that we get credit for the sale. It helps keep the show going, helps keep the lights on.
And it costs you nothing. You actually save money.
And it costs you nothing. You do save money. There's no like added. That's the crazy thing about just affiliate sales in general. The only people that lose money from them are the people selling the stuff. It never costs somebody more money to use an affiliate link than it would have otherwise. So we always encourage that. Again, links down in the description if you're interested in it. But unlike usual, I am not going to veer off into a JP Plus tangent today because I've got a lot of other super cool, exciting things going on. The first thing I want to talk about tonight, and I'm so excited that I get to say these words, so I really want to cherish it. The audio version of the podcast, the one you'd find on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or, Antenna or whatever, now has parity with the live show. That means... Yeah, that means when this show is over, you are going to see the audio version of it up on the podcast site this week, maybe even tomorrow. And I've been waiting a really long time to say that, and I'm super proud of it. Between Rhiannon and myself, we burned through about 30 episodes of the podcast in the last 7 days. So if you guys do follow the podcast on like a podcast app on your phone, you probably got 30 notifications from the Laser Source podcast telling you there are new episodes. It was a lot of work. There are video edits as well. Those will go up on the Laser Source podcast channel. You can find the link to that on the Laser Everything homepage at the bottom where we link all our other channels. The one sacrifice I had to make in order to get us caught up is that the video for the catch-up episodes, the last 30 or so, about 165 to 190, do not have actual video in them. I grabbed a still. We did an audio edit just straight up, just to get them out as fast as possible. And So that will be published that way. Going forward, we will go back to video. We will have video. So this episode, in fact, will have video once it's edited. But I'm very, very excited to be able to share that. Of course, right now I'm talking to the live guys, and the guys that are watching live probably don't particularly care about that. But if you're listening on your podcast app right now, you're probably having a great day. You've probably got a whole backlog to get through. So, yeah, I'm stoked about that. Any thoughts about that before we move on?
Yeah, I am really excited for you guys. I know that was a lot of hard work because every time, I literally feel like the last 2 weeks, I'd be like, hey, man, I have a question. And you're like, editing. Like, it's like, all right, talk to you later. So it makes sense. But I will say, too, I think that if going forward you don't have anything else to put on, like if there's a day where you have to just put like a graphic, it should just be a hamburger. Like, just let's stick with it.
Sure.
It's good.
Yeah, I'll go for one of those. Yeah, maybe I'll just like superimpose a hamburger over your head for this episode.
Hamburger, please.
Did you see the one, by the way?
Make a good short.
That remember that picture where I said you baited me into this, and you're like holding up a business card, and it's got a message inscribed on it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I made that the fucking still frame for the entire episode.
For like 35 episodes.
No, just that one, but it's pretty funny. It's just an hour of you going
Good Lord.
fucking business cards. So you have that to look forward to too. Keep an eye on the Laser Source podcast channel on YouTube, because you might actually see what the Matt's secret message is that he engraved on his aluminum business card. Oh, nice, another one. Good.
Oh my god.
So that's the first thing. I guess that was a short announcement. I felt like I wanted it to last longer, but it didn't. The second announcement is this right here. Check that out. That is the Mira 5S from Eon Laser. Let me tell you guys, it's nice. It's
a lot of work in there.
So
it's very pretty.
I expected it to be pretty, but the loadout on it has me curious, because I know there's like 3 different tube setups it can have, and also can't it also have dual source? So if you combine all of the combinations, there's so many different equip setups it could have.
So I think that's true for the 7s and 9s. But I don't think that's true for the 5s. Yeah, I'm basing that on nothing other than what I've seen physically in the machine. I'd have to check their website. To be completely sure. But from what I saw, I cannot imagine how they could physically fit a secondary source in there. Usually they will put the RF source like lower in the body of the machine, and then up higher they'll have the glass tube, and they use like an additional mirror to bounce the RF tube's beam up into the gantry path. But my machine does not appear to be equipped that way. Though I do have some good news, Kyle. I know I was telling you about how badly I wanted a specific kind of laser from them, and I got it. That is that's a 60-watt RF tube right there. This is my first.
Wait, 60 watt?
Yeah, it's 60 watts.
I didn't even know that could come in 60 watts.
Well, there it is, bud. This is my first RF tube gantry laser that I've ever owned, believe it or not, with all the stuff that comes in and out of the shop. So I'm really super excited to have this particular piece. We have a lot of gantry CO2 lasers, and none of them are RF. The only RF tube in my shop is the one in the CO2 Galvo. So I'm really, really excited to push this thing and kind of see what I can get out of it. Of course, we're going to... Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I thought you were finishing up. The black thing coming out of the end of the RF tube to the right, I'm guessing that's the beam expander?
I would assume it is some kind of beam modifier of sorts. So I'm not sure if you would want a beam expander on a gantry system, because generally the focusing lenses do they follow the same principles an F theta does as far as like bigger in, smaller out, or do
I believe it does, but I don't actually know.
I don't know either. I spend so much time with galvo lasers that I'm not entirely sure about that. So, but it is something I'm curious about. I'll have to do some research, because that was the first thing that stuck out to me as well, was the big old, like, chungus sticking out of the end of it. But yeah, man, that's 60 watts, and guess what? It's so quiet. It's so quiet compared to the CO2 galvo. It makes like zero noise. It's so nice.
Do you know what brand tube it is?
I don't, and I'm going to find out. Matt, I feel like when you went to ISA, one of the things that they were talking about was how easy it was to like pull a source. Right? They had like some kind of mechanism that made it so that it could just like pop out, and when it went back in exactly the same place.
That was for the glass tubes. They had the modular tube docking station. So basically, instead of having to, like, if anybody's ever changed out a tube before, basically you have to like take out the old tube, and kind of when you put it back in, it's probably like 90% level, but you have to do all the like tweaking and fine stuff like that, where you're like doop, 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 and then put a little level on there. And then really you have to just make sure that there's no heat. I mean, I don't know. I've only done it once, but it was a lot of checking just to make sure everything was good. Like there was no heat dissipating. The nice thing about this is with the modular tube docking station, you basically, it's like, I think if I remember correctly, it was toolless. Like you literally just reach in, you can like pull a lever, and it basically, puts pressure on the system and holds it in place. And then it's just ready to go. So I don't think that for the RF tube that's a possibility, because that looks pretty secure in there. But
yeah, so
on the glass tubes, on the glass tubes, it was definitely one of those things where what's really nice on the bigger one where I saw, which was with their big boy, which I think was like is the 9 their biggest one? No, the Nova, the Supernova, or something like that.
Well, yeah, the Novas and Supernovas.
The big ones.
The 9's the biggest one of the Miras.
Right. And those had the dual source. So basically you could just switch. Like there was an option for you to select the source while you were working. Right. And what was really cool is you could actually go up or down. So like if you got a job where it's like, hey, time to upgrade this, literally you could just pop the old tube out, put in a 100-watt tube, and you're good to go. And so basically nothing changed except your power,
Right.
Because the source was able to supply like even higher grade tubes. So really, really cool with that's one of those things where if you're trying to run a business and you want options, like that is a optimizable tool. It will grow with your shop. This is a great machine too, because the speed on this thing, I think it has like the accelerators on it. I'm trying to remember all the talking points that they had way back when, but I think they had like, oh my God, what was it? Like I can't remember what it was called, but basically they just had like the really, really fast accelerators.
Servo motor.
Thank you.
Servo motors.
Yeah.
I saw the servo drivers, by the way, and I was like, I'm not touching those because they have like screens on them and like buttons. It's like super. Yeah. And I was like, nope, I'm not. I don't know nearly enough about any of that to go digging around in there right now. So that's what's actually behind that bottom left panel.
Oops. Maybe one more. Didn't you have it in the beginning? I thought I saw it. I swear.
What?
Like, do you have one?
That was the first photo.
Where it's like the first photo where it's like front. Oh, okay.
As front as I just snapped these. So we shot an unboxing today.
Nice.
But I didn't bring any of that footage home. These were pictures that I just snapped on my phone on the way out the door really quick, so I could bring them to the show tonight to share with you guys. But we will do like a full unboxing, uncrating video for this. Yeah,
the one thing that really blew me away was just the lens cartridges like that these have, which literally switching from like I've got the Boss 2436. Yeah, there it is. That little red thing right there. You literally you can like with the gentlest of pulls just go whoop. And now you can go from a 1.5 inch to a 2 to a 4, and that's it. Like that's all it is. It's wild. Like it just makes work easier. So that to me was what was really great about this, especially because number one, it fits on top of a table, and number two, it's just really precision. Like people who use lasers made this. You know what I mean? And by the way, if you look at the back there, like where the actual gantry connects to the actual frame. You guys, you probably talked about this in your unboxing. But basically, there's actually like stuff to keep debris from going back in there on your axis.
Yeah, they have like accordion blinds, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really, really cool. Looks nice.
Yeah. The reason that I asked, Matt, was because I don't know what kind of source this is. And I want to find out, but it may have to wait until I'm done shooting the rest of the review, because I'm going to destroy the alignment on this when I take that tube out. And
just ask. It should be on the packing slip, I would think.
I could just ask, but
I love how you're like, I'm gonna fuck this thing up so hard. You could ask the manufacturer.
I could, yeah, but then we're like, and not that I think Eon has any reason to lie or not disclose information to me, because I don't, and I don't want to give that impression. But I want to see the label. I just did this when I shot the.
You should ask them, by the way, where that label is located, because you could literally probably just
it's on the bottom.
You could just slide a mirror in there. The nice thing, by the way, that pass through is you can pull it out. You see it right there where it says pass through.
Yeah, yep.
You can probably just put something on there and just look right up into it.
We show that as well, but that pass through does not pass underneath the source. Okay. Yeah, there's another sheet of steel between the pass through and.
I will pay for you to get a flexible mirror so that you don't have to fuck this machine up. It's okay.
When I did the video for identifying your CO2 Galvo machine's laser source, I took that source out for the first time ever, and I knew that Mactron told me there was a coherent in it, and I felt like it was a coherent, but I'd never seen the label. There's no identifying marks on the heat exhaust side or the heat sink sides of any of these RF tubes, and I wanted to see the label. It felt so good to look at it, despite all of the realignment I had to do to get my CO2 Galvo running again. And I'm sure I'm going to feel the same way about this, but with every other machine that we review, I look at the source. I physically look at the source. I see the stickers. You know what I mean? I want to see a sticker. So I want to see a sticker, even if it's a Davi. I have no idea what's in this, though. I could ask, and I can relay that information. Hell, it's probably on their website. You guys can probably find out before me by the end of this show if you're watching live. But I still want to see the sticker. So,
from what I remember, I think they use two different brands.
Mm-hmm.
It could either be a Davi or an Irradion.
Yeah, and oh yeah, that's right, huh? I forgot about that. I think that you're ringing some bells, Kyle, because I feel like I remember conversation about that.
That's what I'm here for. I ring the bells.
You do ring the bells. Unfortunately, in this photo, you can see the little window there where you can see the RF tube right behind the gantry in the back there, and all it says is DW 60 watt. That's it. That's all you have to go on. And it almost feels like there's a sheet of like paper or something under that sticker, maybe like obscuring more details about it. I need to tear into it. I just am not going to be satisfied until I look deeper, because that's how I do things. But yeah, there's some other noticeable features in this image here, like their clean pack design they're always going on about, which is really nice. I do really like the way they have it. So the belt teeth are all facing inwards, and they're kind of like secured within the chassis of the rail, which is really nice, the linear rail. And then they do have those accordion blinds there. Also, in the bottom right corner of this picture here, just past where you can see the small laser head, you can see the actual area where the bed is held up by the like giant screws so that it can raise and lower, has little bristles on it, like little brush bristles to keep debris and nastiness from getting in there too, which I also really liked about it. And then last but not least, you can see the little band right in the center of the lid there. That's your cable for your light burn camera, because this machine does have a light burn camera included as well, which is super nice. One of my favorite things about this machine, though, were
this table is dope.
These tables, man, these tables are sick. So if you lift up the honeycomb table, you get this awesome work bed underneath which not only has mounting points on it for mounting hardware, but you can see they're kind of slatted, and each of those slats can be stood up on end, and it becomes a knife table. Yep.
Yeah. And if you watch the video that we have from, I think it's like 2 years ago now, they actually, I think I have video on there of them like doing that. It's really, really pretty.
Yep.
And it's just functional. Like, to me, those pegs, like for putting, like knowing that you can cut your own jigs and actually having a place to put them now instead of whatever, and then being able to line it up with a camera and it's all in one system.
Yeah.
Pretty slick.
The thing that the image doesn't really do justice for on this is how tight the tolerances are for all of this. Those slats that make up this workbed are
like one piece.
Dude, they are like thinner than the width of a human hair apart, and they slot in so rock solid that every time you take them out and put them back in, beyond a shadow of a doubt, they are in the same exact position they were when you removed them, which is something I really appreciated while I was doing the unboxing today. I felt really, really good about being able to remove those and put them back in and not wonder whether or not they're still aligned or, you know, in the correct place, or if there will be consistency. That all felt very, very good while I was in there manipulating it. And I didn't go through the process of removing like all of them and doing all the knife bed stuff, but I will when we come around to like the full review. But I did want to play with them a little, and from what I had the chance to work with, I was really, really impressed with that. I really like these beds.
Yeah, I tried to tell you a couple years ago, and I mean, you believed me. It wasn't like you were like, no, oh, they're trash, but you were like, are they really that? Is it really that cool? And I'm like, yeah, bro, it's that cool.
I mean,
like,
I'm a tactile person, you know. I need to like touch. Touch things.
And that's the thing, man.
And I was jealous you got to go to ISA. Like, that looked super fun. But it just wasn't the same. It's not the same watching a video of a piece of equipment like this and like touching a piece of equipment like this.
Yeah, and the nice thing too is when you go to things like the ISA or the different types of like events like that, what was really cool is Kyle, who's like our techie tech guy who loves the specs, and like I guess like he's the tech spec guy. They answer your questions like right there in front of you, and they pull things apart, and they're like, hey, take a look at it. And they just literally cranked and yanked the thing apart in front of me so I could get some pictures of it. And it's dope because like they actually had the person who helped design this and like worked hand in hand with China there to like the China team to like put it all together.
Yep.
Really, really cool. So like any question you have, they're just like, yes, I have that answer. Boop.
The maximum speed on this machine, by the way, with the RF tube is 3,500 millimeters a second.
That's kind of quick.
Which is ridiculous. If you want to see what that looks like, go watch our episode called Everything You Need to Know About the REDLINE Lasers, because that uses a bunch of footage that Matt shot at ISA where you can see the laser running in real time, and includes all of the information we had about it at the time. But of course, we're having a very different experience with it now that we actually have our hands on it. And one of the craziest things that, and this is going to sound really salesy, but it's not. We don't even really make that much off of commission on these because people buy them so rarely. But the price is actually really good. It's $6,995 right now. Which I think is pretty awesome considering what you get. Granted, that's still like 3.5 Renos, right? So it's not inexpensive, but it's not a Mira 9. You know what I mean? It's not $15,000 to $20,000 machine. We're only talking about $7,000 here. So for all of the perfection that we're going to be talking about as we kind of work through having this system in our shop, I just want to make sure we keep the price in mind too, because I think $7,000 is a pretty good deal based on what I've seen so far.
One thing to throw in on that, like we were talking about, we always talk about this at this time of year, like this is the time to pull the trigger on stuff for tax reasons, but also for like, you know, just making sure you get something to be prepared and start your year off right, you know? Like this is the time where you should be thinking about it. Because most people, I actually have some friends of mine who like they basically have stopped taking orders at this point because they're working on the orders that they have so much, like they have so much stuff to do they're just like, nope, if you don't have it in by Thanksgiving, we're not messing with this till Christmas. So, you know, as you guys are wrapping up your years and stuff like that, start thinking about these. One of the things that they have on the promotions that I get emails, because when I was at ISA, I signed up for like 10 different emails so I could kind of just keep up with stuff. One of the promotions is 0% interest for 2 years, which is, I mean, you're not paying interest. You could just get it. Like, to me, that's just literal money in your hand. Because you can get a free fiber laser, but you have to buy 100 watt. So to me, that's a limitation that I don't really want to mess with. I don't need 100 watts for something. You can get some free shipping and stuff, but to me though, getting like 0% interest on something for 2 years, where you can literally in 2 years you could make $6,000 to pay this back.
You could pay this machine off in a quarter of that time.
Absolutely. That's what I'm getting at. So it's basically like a free loan as long as you're able to pay that off. Obviously it's not free money, but you got to know what I'm saying. So anyways, that's just one of those things. Take a look at it. If and when you click the links below, you know, I think it's a great.
You know what? I don't even think we have links below.
We should get one.
Maybe on the final episode, not live. So,
anyways, that's just my take on it. Because, like, as far as business goes, like, you just need to be looking for those deals because they're all trying to make their quarter gains and all that kind of stuff. And it's like this is where you get to win as a customer, where you might not have otherwise, right?
Yeah. I like this photo too, just because I think it shows how well organized the inside of the machine is. It really is well thought out. You can see every single component on this side of the machine. You can get access to all of it. I don't have to like cram my hands into spaces they don't fit. All of the wires are labeled. They're all terminated correctly. Look at that beautiful Ruida controller. I love the controller that they put in this machine. It's so nice. That little chip in the middle is actually a temperature controller. So I think it's for PWM like fan control, fan speeds, based on the temperature of the source. So as the source gets hot, the fans will ramp up, but it does like live monitor the temperature on that little LCD display. Don't quote me on that. This is just, again, I'm
preliminary guesses.
Yeah, preliminary guesses. This is what the fuck? What word am I thinking of right now?
Hamburger.
Speculation, not hamburger.
I think we were on the same page.
You'll also notice in this image there are some stepper drivers. That's for the Z-axis for raising and lowering the bed, and the U-axis for when the machine is in rotary mode, because that's certainly not a servo, right? So you do have the stepper drivers there integrated as well. And then here's the other side of the machine. You get that really nice Meanwell power supply in there. You can see very clearly your mirror setup. You've got the beam combiner for your red dot in the top left corner. And you've got your air compressor. I really like the air assist setup in these machines because they run a really high quality fish tank style compressor out of the gate, but it also has inline compatibility with external air assist too. So if you want to run something bigger like a California Air Tools or whatever, you can thoughtlessly just plug it into the back of the machine and run it without touching anything else, which is really nice. So you've got all that stuff. Again, just really easy access to everything that you would want to manipulate or change. So yeah, that's the Mira, guys. I'm really excited to play with it. I haven't done much with it. I just got it to turn on, and the worst thing happened when it turned on. I can't believe that I have to say this right now, but I think it's one of the servo motors. It just screams like the highest pitch. Rhiannon called it a like mosquito noise. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's just like whine, like that really, really high frequency whine. And if you move the x-axis back and forth a little bit, you could get it to sit in a position where it wouldn't do that. But the second you moved it again, it started whining again, and it's like the worst. So I need to email them and be like, please tell me how to make this not happen, because it's intolerable. The pitch is like just perfect to activate the sleeper agent in me, and like I don't know, you know what I mean? Like it's terrible. So
it's the tinnitus death agent,
dude. Seriously, like I can't.
Can you imagine being a multinational laser company who has to deal with logistics, creation, like shipping, all of the stuff, and then it's like, I have the new Mira 5S, and there's a mosquito sound coming out of it, and I'm just very perturbed.
I think what you're trying to describe is coil whine.
Oh, maybe
coil whine sound.
It's Matt. If you heard it, you wouldn't be making jokes. It's
okay, all right.
The word, it's like nails on a chalkboard. Like it's so agitating and awful. I hope that it shows up in the audio from the unboxing so I can play it for you, because
just make a gif out
of
it.
I don't even know if it will. Like I don't even know if the frequency response on the microphone on the camera is good enough to pick up something at that frequency and play it back over speakers, because it's at the limit of like human hearing, like right on the edge.
That's your dog DNA that's getting you.
Whatever. Be a douchebag. I don't care. I'm telling you.
I get it. You got to find something that gets you, because it's like every machine has something. But I will say that's something too, that like some well cut, what do you call it? Like audio dampening. You could probably put that like a panel outside of it or next to it on the wall when you're working. I will say you're in a different space than me too. Like if you're in a big concrete shop, the sounds have nowhere to go but everywhere. So
yeah, that's true. And we had like fans going and stuff. It wasn't like I was in like an empty silent room. Like we've got machines going and things. I don't know. Like I said, I'll see if it comes up in the unboxing video, because I do have that so that we can kind of go through that together. And I talk a lot more about the features. I was much more prepared and supplied with documentation when I was doing the unboxing than I am right now. So it's a fun ride to be able to watch it. It actually doesn't ship all that packed. I mean, it wasn't like hard, like the whole thing wasn't really in a crate. It was more in like a refrigerator box on a pallet, and it had like a big spiky cone on the top. I called it the party hat in the thumbnail. Did you see it?
Like the dunce cap.
It was just like, don't put anything on this, and don't touch it, and don't look at it the wrong way.
Don't do it, man.
UPS was like, we're gonna listen this time.
Yeah, I think it was FedEx, actually, believe it or not, but it arrived in one piece. I mean, it was fine. There was nothing wrong with it.
That's good.
So, yeah, it was good. It covered in foam, just a thin layer. It was not. I expected a wooden crate, and that is not what we got. We got like a refrigerator box, which was fine. Again, it showed up fine.
Do you know? Surprising. So real quick, for shipping wise, so thinking about this from the other end, like we talked about, like the specs and all that. When they sent you, hey, here's your FedEx code, from that day to the door, how long was it?
2 days.
Okay, so that means they've got it stateside, basically. So these are things that are here.
Yeah,
and that would explain why.
Yeah, they go through them down in Florida.
Yeah, that's like the whole thing, right? Is that they take them apart and put them back together.
It's like Amazon, yeah. Like this isn't something that you're gonna wait 2 weeks on, 21 days. You're trying to follow it through different countries. Like this is just coming from Florida.
Well, it depends. Eon does get back ordered, depending on what you're trying to buy, and sometimes it can take a long time to get your hands on their machines. I remember when the last line of Miras rolled out, not the REDLINE ones, but the earlier generation. Some people like didn't Boyce wait like 9 months to get his?
It was quite a while.
I feel like 6 to 9 months. I feel like
so they can't, when they run out, they can be out for a while, which is something to consider if you're in the market for one of these. But yeah, so far, dude,
retailer.
If I was a deaf man, this would be a perfect machine. It's very, very nice. It definitely meets my expectations for the price that they're asking, based again on what I've seen so far, and I am just really excited to play with it. I just want to see what that RF tube do.
The good news is if you use this daily for 3 months, you will be the deaf man who doesn't mind.
That's true. Yeah.
Huh?
Huh?
What?
No. Yeah.
Oh, Resin says, I think they're assembled in Florida.
They are. Well,
Very cool.
they arrive. My understanding, let me preface this. My understanding is that they arrive assembled and then they tear them apart in Florida and then put them back
Quality
together.
control.
Essentially.
Well, they basically upgrade them.
Yeah. So, but whatever it is they're doing it right because the thing comes turnkey. I mean, it's ready to go. One of the cool things I didn't actually show you guys. Let me see if I can find the picture really quick. One of the cool things I noticed was see these like yellow straps here down on the bottom. So these are steel pins. They're actual like 1/2-inch steel pins that they used to lock the gantry in place on both the left and the right so that the gantry wouldn't move in shipping, which was hardcore. I've seen like zip ties and stuff, but this was literally pinned in place with steel pins. And I was like, that's awesome. And you can just keep them. So if you ever need to transport the machine later, you just pop the pins back in, which was really cool.
That's pretty clever.
Yeah, hopefully everybody notices them and removes them before trying to turn their machine back on. But yeah, I mean, it's really clever. It was a really clever way to do it. They actually shipped it because the doors were on. Those big yellow tags stick like out of the doors. They're like hanging out of the doors on both sides. And they say, do not turn on the machine without removing the pin. So, and I didn't notice there were 2 of them. Rhiannon did. I almost turned the machine on after removing the first one, but there's one on the other side of the gantry as well that had to be removed. So
is there like a get quick started guide where it's like, hey, before you start your machine,
dude, you know what? Yes,
I feel like there probably is, and if there isn't, there should be.
Yeah, not only is there like a quick start guide, but they also emailed us like 4 times before this machine showed up saying, read this before unboxing your Mira that we sent out for you to review. And I read none of it.
I was about to say, literally, here's what it said. Step 1, there will be 2 pins there.
Like, yeah, okay. So I could.
Thank God for Rhiannon.
I could go. Well, she didn't read it either. You think she read anything?
She looked at the pictures, which is twice as much as you did.
So this is my excuse, but I feel like most people are going to experience a machine like this for the first time the way that I am experiencing it for the first time. No one's getting a machine like this in the mail and they're like, I'm going to sit down and read this 50-page book to make sure I do everything right the first time. They're fucking ripping the packaging off and they're like turning it on. They want to see it light up. You know what I mean? They want to watch the fans spin. So I feel like going into it that way and seeing how easy the user experience is. But I think going into it blind speaks volumes about how much or how little it,
like the intuitiveness of it.
Alex is lagging.
Yeah. So what I was going to say is, as somebody who doesn't have like $7,000 to drop on a laser every day, I would read at least 25 of the pages. I'm sure some of it, as someone who owns like multiple lasers, you want to make sure like, okay, this one's going to be different. So let me take a look at it. I highly suggest taking a look at it, in my opinion, because that's like an investment, man. I'm not trying to break it before I get going with it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think Alex dead?
I think Alex went full freeze mode.
No, that works. This is a great time to check in with you guys, by the way. I put a little note in chat there that was kind of asking if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns. Feel free to let us know. One of the things that Laura just said a minute ago was like asking, with all of the CO2 lasers you have, which is your favorite, right? So I don't know. I can talk from mine. I've had Boss lasers twice. I've had the 1420 and the 2436, and both of those are CO2 gantry like glass tubes. And honestly, for what I need them for, they're great. I was able to get them from like people who it was secondhand, and I lucked out that the people took really good care of them, and so they were solid. So that's how I bought all of my lasers except for these guys back here. So just saying.
For my gantries, I have the blue poo, and then I have the same red 2820 Omtech that Alex has, and I've also had the pleasure of using not all of them because he didn't have all of them when I was up there, but I got to mess with the Mira when I was up at Alex's shop, as well as some of the other stuff. And I don't know, the Aeon's pretty clean. It's a premium feel, you know, versus like the Omtech or my Blue Poo. So
yeah, I think the only thing, I don't know, for me, I think I use my gantry more for cutting than anything at this point, and for like cups. So like RF tube on cups would be great. Just saying. And then Anthony just said, "What's up? Sorry I'm late. No big deal, man. We're glad to have you, buddy." But basically what we've been talking about is the new Mira S that came. I mean, what do you think about an RF tube in a gantry for cups? Is it going to be as fast as like our CO2 Galvo?
No. And it's going to depend on the job.
That's fair, but the good news is
it's just simply it can't physically be as fast for certain things.
Yeah, but the dot size is way smaller too, so you actually have like a lot more control on that kind of thing if you're doing like precision stuff.
Maybe, yeah.
So that'd be pretty good. I don't know. To me, that's one of those things that you got to consider, and that's why like if you can get one of those ones that has like the actual like dual sources in it, that was so dope watching it just switch between them. So, anyways, let's see. Looking at this. I think one of the things that struck me when I saw it too was like the frame that they talked about. Like it actually has like a really, really rigid frame. The one that Alex had pictures of earlier. And it's because they have to go like for things that are going like 2,500 to 3,000 millimeters per second, you have to have it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. One, I don't really know the breaking point in which like glass tubes just can't keep up. But generally speaking, if you're going probably above 1,000 millimeters a second, it's such a drain on the glass tube. And especially when they start getting older, they just can't keep up.
Yeah.
The constant on off as it's filling, it has a terrible time with. So
yeah, and then by the way, Anthony was saying he said he doesn't think it'll be as fast. I don't know if you can click on that one there. He said, "Nope, but I feel like it's way better at wraps. I can't say why, but I just feel that way." I don't know. Like that's one of those things. Like as far as like speed wise, I think it's way faster, especially with the servos. That like you'd be able to do that and kind of crank those out with a little more speed.
You know what? That kind of drives me to want to do a speed test.
Mm-hmm. Be cool.
So right? Like we do the same design on the same cup. Alex does his on the new Mira 5S, and then I do mine on the Galvo.
I think, but like
we could do a full wrap, and then we could do a 2-sided design.
I wonder too if like dot size matters so much, because like if you're doing that, that's going to change your like steps per rotation and stuff like that too, probably.
Well, your dot size, not really. Your steps per rotation is going to be identical because it's regardless of what your dot size is.
What am I thinking of? Hold on.
Your steps per rotation is going to.
Oh, the intervals is what I'm thinking of. My bad.
Yeah, your line interval is going to change, but.
Yeah, so that's where it's like you'll be running, but if you've got the faster motor, would it even out or would it like overtake it? It's actually really interesting. I kind of want to know.
Yeah.
All right, I guess Alex is dead. So what do you guys got in chat for us? What do you want to talk about in our last couple of minutes here before we get going?
I don't know. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat and we'll cover them.
Yeah, I can talk about what I've been working on for the past couple of weeks. I had an order again. If you guys have not reached out to schools, and I know this is like always the thing I say, but schools are just such a cash cow. Like there's so many different groups and stuff like that. Ooh, the coin challenge, hell yeah! Kyle, can you like share your screen with that?
Let me
while I'm talking about money.
Let me pull it up. Hold on.
Yeah. So basically, thank you, Anthony. Appreciate it. But one of the things, if you haven't talked to schools yet, there are literally multiple groups looking for stuff right now to get done. The swim teams in Florida are wrapping up. Like the states are going right now because it doesn't get cold for us for a while. But they're wrapping up, and I just had a whole bunch of orders come through. And so that's going on for me. So the cups are going really big. The water bottles, actually the aluminum battery chargers and stuff like that. Pretty sweet. So lots of different things, plaques. And also one of the things I've been working on too is working with smaller groups here in town that are 501c3s. So I don't have to worry about taxes and all that kind of stuff. Really great. Just saying. Because that's one of those things where they are buying stuff because it's the end of the year. So they're all trying to like spend money now. And then there's a couple of questions in chat if we want to do that later. But yeah, so Anthony's coin challenge. Go for it, Kyle.
Yeah, so these were the final things that got voted on at the tail end of last week. So we got welcome back, Alex. So we got Bunny Washer here with the AMC Pacer. We got Michael ET Laserworks. Got the 70s rock and roll coin. Uber Grant with help from Dasonian. Did this like peace coin with the globe behind it. Chewbacca.
I think it's a disco ball, homie.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
whatever. I said globe. Whatever. My brain is not functional. We got our Star Wars style coin here, and Project Apollo. Yeah, I should just make these big so we can see them all.
These were dope, dude.
Yeah. Super nice.
This was a good month.
Yeah. So
honestly, every month I'm impressed. Like every month.
Yeah.
Even if you guys don't participate, just going in here and checking out and seeing what people are doing can be so inspiring to just see what kind of stuff is possible in terms of textures, in terms of results. It's really cool to see.
And just like vote too while you're there. You know,
yeah, you can vote.
Yep.
Obviously, voting's closed on the one that finished up last week, but
well, and real quick, take a look at that B one for 1 second.
Yeah, this wasn't part of the contest, but
right. This one I was gonna say, but one of the things that's really cool that we never really talk about here is like the different like reagents that you can use when you're doing coin engraving. And this is actually brass black that was getting used. Like so it's literally like a chemical that you pour on, it's like blue. And then when you pour it on, you can wipe it off really quickly. The longer you let it go on there, the more it turns it like a darker black. But if you just hit it real quick and brush it with a toothbrush or something like that, you get a lot of different unique looking things. And so look at like the depth and like, I don't know, like I just was blown away. Like it really highlights what the laser does when you're doing that 3D engraving, because it always, I don't know, I can never see every single thing unless you're looking at it from different angles. And then this kind of stuff to me really brought out like some of the depth and detail. Like, I mean, just like when you're looking at the, where the hair is right there, you know, like the little hair is by his wings. I thought that was a really cool thing.
I definitely agree. I think the brass black really does a lot to bring out the illusion of depth. You know what I mean? Even though I'm sure this probably isn't even that deep. I mean, maybe it is. I could be completely wrong, but it
looks like
certainly would.
How deep, Alex?
So deep. I would attribute that illusion being sold by the brass black for sure. That's a good call out.
Yeah, and that was one of those things where because when I looked at it, like literally I was sitting here one morning having breakfast and a cup of coffee, and I was like scrolling through. I was like, oh, that's dope as shit. And then I zoomed in, I was starting to read the chat, and I was like, oh, damn, okay, that makes sense. Because I was like, wow, how did he do the amount of passes it would take and just the sweeps and the like, man.
Well, keep in mind too, like this is probably the best area where you can see the layers of how much depth got chewed in. Because I mean, all this is curved. You don't really see layer like the stair stepping you get from layers. A lot of time was spent here tuning the parameters so that the layers were smooth together and the artwork was on point. So,
and to me, those are really nice cleanup passes too, because you see those corners look like how nice and clean they are. And so that's where you have like the varying angles, like Kyle in his video and Alex in the video where we did it live, where they've got like passes that go like every 36 degrees. So it's actually 10 passes, sweeping and clearing and doing all that kind of stuff. Like you really get to see what you did, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So that month's closed out. The determination for next month, 10-inch nipple, was the selecting the I guess the
next
theme
idea
for the month coming up. So Into the Void is this month. So possible ideas that they provided were alternate universe, portal-like frame, illusion with extreme perspective of depth, use of one or two perspective of a village from another century, something escaping the void, etc., etc., etc. So if you guys have any cool ideas that you want to make a coin and participate, that info is there. You should jump in, and nobody starts as a pro, and nobody's going to make fun of you for submitting something as your first coin, right? So get in there and participate, and the whole goal of it is to learn something, focus on your skills, and learn from others and grow together. So
yeah, I mean, that's always been our thing, right? Is that there's no stupid questions, there's no stupid entries, and nobody's a douchebag. Literally.
No, we go through painful lengths to make sure that is not the case, because those people don't last long in our community.
I mean, we used to. I feel like lately we haven't even really had to do all that much. I mean, I feel like there's been like a couple bots, like spam things that we've had to deal with, but I don't even remember the last time we kicked someone for being an asshole. It's been a long, long time.
We've cultivated a good community together.
Well, and the other thing too is,
and the community does a really good job at monitoring each other's no-nos.
Well, and especially our moderators. So Jack in the Shop, who you guys see here, is awesome. Anthony Montez, which on Discord is Remontez. Then you got ET Laserworks, who's usually here live with us. He's always doing great stuff. And Ace Master. I think that's why we don't even have those issues, because like if and when they pop up, they're handled quickly. So and the nice thing is, with all the different things, when you go there, you have lots of different things to talk about and different places to put that. So it's just easy to find information there. So anyways,
we're like talking about coins. Chats over here talking about fucking 3D printing.
Well, that was like 5 minutes ago. But yeah, excuse me. They were like, talk us out of buying a 3D printer. And I look at my 3D printed rainbow brass knuckles, and I have a hard time telling you don't.
Did I show you my Zelda print ever?
No.
Did you guys ever see this?
Oh,
yeah, I remember you showing us.
I don't know if this is ever gonna focus, but it's Zelda. I painted it like a boss. She's got like her little hair and like armor and stuff. Isn't that cool? It's a cool little mini. I'm really proud of this. This is like the first model that I've like printed and painted to completion, and I'm kind of stoked about it, even though it's garbage.
I think my coolest thing I 3D printed was actually like the head, the bust of oh my gosh, the guy who conquered the world, Alexander the Great. There you go. Yeah. Nice. So and it literally the last little print messed up and it wouldn't go, so I had to hold it in place. Like, and it still worked out. Looked great. So anyways, Daddy's getting a CNC on Black Friday, said Anthony.
Oh God.
Oh baby.
Yikes.
That's a dangerous rabbit hole to go down.
Good luck with that.
Anyway, while you were gone, we kind of talked about the last little bit of like ideas for like how we could use the Mira S versus like a normal standard CO2.
We gotta get Alex.
Dude, I'm gonna fucking run photos on that thing like a psychopath. I'm gonna do
Alex. We have to
the bed size.
We have to do a comparison test. You're gonna do a full wrap on your gantry, right, on a cup, and I'm gonna do the same full wrap on my CO2 Galvo, and we're gonna compare them. And we could even do like a 2-sided design,
like for speed and for like.
Are we comparing for speed, or are we comparing for
quality? Both.
I mean, you have you would have the raw speed edge.
I want to see how that compares for quality though too.
You can't operate at a speed that beats me and compare to my quality. So
we're gonna find out.
Because what are you gonna like run at 4,000 millimeters a second? I've got 3,500. We're
gonna see. So here, Laura wanted to know, out of all the CO2 lasers you have, what's your favorite? I mean, my guesstimate for you was the Mira, but
yeah, my Mira 9 is my favorite that I've actually like used extensively, but I think it has a fair chance to be displaced by the Mira 5, just based on the fact that it's running an RF alone. I do a fair bit of cutting, but I like the size of the 5 much better than the 9. Don't get me wrong, the 9's got a massive bed. It can do things that no other machine in my shop can do, but it's just so big, and I like things that are small. And so I feel like I like the form factor of the Mira better. I like the RF tube, but there are reservations still. I'm not ready to dethrone the 9 for the 5S just because the 5S showed up. It needs to do work and perform, and I obviously
needs to earn its place
yet. Yeah, it certainly
somewhere
needs to.
in the list.
I'm certainly biased and predisposed to rating this machine highly because of my experiences with Eon in the past. That doesn't mean it gets a free ride, so it needs to go through the same bullshit that everything else goes through. Are we just talking about galvos, or is she talking about like all machines?
No, just all CO2s.
Gantries.
All CO2 gantries. Yeah. I also, you know what?
Didn't you?
I do like the Ranger a lot. The Ranger kind of sits in a weird spot price wise. It's kind of halfway between something like the 28x20 and the Mira, but I think one of my new favorites, and I can't believe I'm saying this out loud because I never thought I would have said this a year ago, is the Reno, the Momport Reno. It's kind of a bitchin' machine, dude. I mean, it's a junker like all machines in that price range, but it has the ability to be TLC'd into something very, very great. And this comes back to the same shit that I always talk about on the show, guys. You have money or you have time, right? Do you have money or time? If you have money, Mira 5S is an awesome machine that you can set down and turn on and use, and it's going to be perfect. The Reno is a stray cat that is hissing and trying to bite you, and it needs a lot of extra special care and attention. But once you put the work in, it could be a really, really good companion, and it costs you nothing because you dragged it in off the street. So it just depends on if you have
what a glowing endowment.
It just depends on if you have money or time, right? And some people have a little bit of both. Maybe for those people, the Ranger's the option. So there's a lot of good reasons, but obviously the specs that Eon loads their machines up with is just incomparable to anything else that I've seen, certainly in recent times. And even when I'm comparing, and I've never owned one of these, so to take this with a grain of salt, but even when comparing with Thunder, I feel like Thunders are a lot closer to the generic shell build outs that you see on gantry type lasers. Miras specifically, Eon in general, but Miras specifically really are kind of a one of a kind build that you don't see clones of everywhere. And they've somehow maintained that, and it's still really impressive. Even that, Matt mentioned earlier, the 5S has a freaking pass-through door on it. Like, that passes within millimeters, like just under the laser source, and they did all the engineering to figure that out. Every piece is super clean, and everything is exactly where it needs to be, and it's just really impressive. It's just technically impressive to sit there and look at. And I think it's going to be a blast to use, especially with that Ruida controller that they've got on there. The thing is like a LCD screen for a computer. You know what I mean? It's
like
beyond
the size of your hand. I mean, it's a big boy for that smaller
It's a big boy. There's a lot of room for a lot of readouts, like temperature readouts on things like the lens and the source. You can see right there on the controller. It's got a lot to like. It's got a lot. It's very likable. It's a very likable machine. So, but yeah, the Mira 9, to answer the question, is my favorite that I've owned. It's just the one that I want to use. You know, I have them all. I have a special place in my heart for my old Ohm Tech. Made me a lot of money. It got me where we are today. It gave me the ability to have a channel, you know, but
like a dog that we dragged off the streets and had to shoot in the face.
Yeah, fucking seriously. But when I'm like, you know, I glance over at Rhiannon and we need to get something done, and she glances back at me, the machine that I walk over to execute when I need a gantry CO2 laser is the Mira. It's just the one I want to use. It's the one that's the least hassle. It's the one that I have to think about the least when getting a job ready to go. And it's the one that I have to worry the least about executing what I'm telling it to do. You know, but that said, I like all my machines, and I like them all for different reasons. I don't have any CO2 Galvo or CO2 gantry machines that I hate. I like them all, and I like them all for different reasons, but that I definitely have a favorite.
Yeah, you gotta have that like all-arounder.
Yeah, so we'll see if the 5S can dethrone the 9 as my go-to.
Word. Otherwise, people have just been talking in chat kind of a little bit about the 3D printers and CNCs over there. So a lot of people just kind of talking about, like, again, this is the time of year, look for things. And also when you call these people, guys, one thing we've said in the past too, when you call people, let them know like, hey, I'm looking for a deal. I have the money to spend. I want to do it now. If you go with some of the companies, and this is kind of like Alex was saying, you can go with companies that are like, this is how much it is, period, in a story. But there's also sometimes when you deal with some of these people, if you can wait, like if you've got time, you can save some money by just saying like, I'm not comfortable with that number. I want to pay this much. And they will literally bargain with you to get you in the door, right? Or they'll throw in some extras and stuff. So you don't have to be a jerk. Just be polite and business oriented and try to get the biggest bang for your buck that you can get. Just saying.
I see them in chat talking about Jack's plasma cutter. And yeah, I was always like, man, I've seen it and I want one too. And I was like, Jack, where'd you get this? And it's like Jack built this.
I made mine.
with a box of scraps in a cave.
So what happened is I traded a guy for basically some paper clips, and then
he started with magic beans.
Yeah. Like, and when I used that stapler with my 3D printer, I made my CNC plasma cutter. I just got a little laser pointer that I found in the garage. You know, did some stuff to it.
Yeah, it's very cool though. It's super effective. I've watched videos he's posted about it running. And it's cool. Yeah, he's got a neat little shop over there. But that's it, guys. We're 107. We're over, so it's time to go. It's time to go bye-bye. But we'll be back on Tuesday. And guess what? If you missed any part of this episode, the audio podcast will be out in a day or two. I can say that now. I'm really excited about it. Again, I know nobody that's here with me right now in the room gives a shit.
I was excited about it.
I'm super proud.
I heard the word parody, so I thought there was going to be a parody of the laser show.
A parody.
Right. Parody. I heard parody, and I was like, man, that'd be even better. Like, just saying.
I'm amped. I'm really stoked that this is happening. You can find all of the back episodes uploaded over at podcast.makearmy.io. They're all right there. Super easy to find. There's 189 episodes to listen to now, and I'm super stoked about it. If you want to see us get to 889, go sign up for the Laser Master Academy. It's the #1 way to support the show. Make sure we can continue doing our jobs. Of course, we're very grateful for the support we receive from Johnson Plastics Plus, but their contribution is not even remotely close to enough to make sure that everybody here gets to keep their jobs and keep doing what they love. We exist because of the funding that we get from the community alone, and we are super grateful for that. And we'd like to encourage anyone listening right now to, if you haven't already, go sign up. Check it out over at masters.lasereverything.net. If you're visiting us on YouTube, don't forget to smash the like button. and leave a comment. Let everybody else know the content's good and that you want more episodes of the show. Really helps with that engagement. I'm pissed. Last week, Rhiannon uploaded, or no, not even last week. It was like a day and a half ago. Rhiannon uploaded a short of doing the tape test on a tumbler before running it. You know what I mean? Like running it on the tape first.
Mm-hmm.
Guess how many views that video got?
4,000 views.
13,000 views in the first 24 hours.
That answers your question. What Anthony and I said, basically, we just made you $1 million. Go do it.
So, yeah.
Make my face a hamburger, right?
Cheryl's like, it was a great short. Yeah, I know it was a great short, but it's like, not everything can be distilled.
But I don't want to do a short.
Yeah, and I don't want to do a short. Fuck them.
that should literally be your short. It's just you bitching about shorts. And then, like, afterwards, at the very end of the short, it should be like, you know what? Suck it up. Make my head a hamburger right now. And then just a hamburger pops up.
Get right on that. Anyway, guys, thanks for coming out, especially if you're here live. If you're not, don't worry. We still love you. But I appreciate having all of you guys here. And we will see you next week. I think that's all I've got. So until then,
smash that like button.
Smash it, please, with the fist of an iron god.
Smash it real good.
Like the smash the like.
And we will see you in the next one.
Bye-bye.